popcorn machine, the first step is to take a bag whatever popcorn you've got. A misconception is you have to bag up every kernel in there. What you're going to want to do is think about how many folks you still have in feeders, and if there's quite a bit, you want to get good like 9, 12 bags if you can. My default is 6. That's how many bags I like to default fill. But don't use that as an all the time number. Just if you're not super sure, go for 6. That's usually fine. If there's a lot of folks still in there, go to town and fill them up. We have to be careful how many we fill up. Because if we fill up too many, it just gets tossed at the end of the night anyway. So you're really playing at guessing. Another step is also make sure you turn off your exhaust, conditioner, and lights. What that's going to do for you, these lights are heating lights. It heats from the bottom and the top. If you turn all those things off, it gets a lot cooler as you go. So you're not like fighting the heat in your face every time you're filling up these bags and wiping this thing down. The next step after you fill up your 6 bags, you set those on the counter off to the side. You do this when you're done. After that, whatever you've got left in the machine, you get to throw those away. Left, it sounds wasteful. Literally, we throw it away. So that's why when folks want refills, we never say no, because at worst. And typically, you want to monitor how much popcorn you're making, because if you make too much, you end up throwing a bunch of crap away. So next step is good. All the extra popcorn's been tossed. We have 6 bags ready to go. The next step we always have to try and remember is first, take this salt box, set it off to the side. You don't want to bump it off, knock it clean. You're gonna take your tub, and you're gonna feel a little bit with your hand and say, ooh, that's a little bit hot. You're gonna look for some paper towels, typically right over here in a rack. Grab these, get a good bundle of them, and you're gonna take the inside agitator. That's what it's called. The thing that spins is called the agitator. That's what I'm gonna call it. And take this, and then the pin and the agitator. Pin and the agitator, you want to pop it over. And it should be hooked in there just like a basket. You're just going to want to pop it loose. Take it all the way out. And you're going to take the agitator and the pin. And what I do is I walk it over to the sink. Set it in there. As I am cleaning it, it has a chance to cool off and not be a million degrees. After you've gotten your clip and agitator out, you're going to take some paper towels, wipe around this inside a little bit. Now, it does not have to be perfect in here, but it does have to look like somebody gave it and gave it a good effort wipe down. You see, mine's not perfect, but you can tell somebody gave a crap about it. After you get that wiped down, you make sure you take your 2 scoops, set them next to your agitator, flip, set them over there, let them cool as you go. Some people set them in hot soapy water, and that's fine. I don't. I just set them off to the side, and as I continue, I'll go that way. Your next step, you're going to grab the brush, typically over there by the sink, and you're going to brush all the kernels off into this grate. So you're going to take the grate, that's where to brush it, you knock it off, and the grate, give it a good solid brush. Get all the extra pieces off as best you can. You're going to take your grate, set it on this other counter over here. Come back to that. You're going to take your brush, and then you're going to brush all the pieces down into this basin down here. Because if you look down in the basin, there is a receptacle hole where you will, at the end, you'll come to that part later, you'll know where to do that.
What's up, YouTube? Back to cooking with Carter and Nick.
The next step after you've brushed, if you want to show them how well we brushed it, you take all the extra kernel pieces, knock them down in the basin, and then you take your basin, you push it all into that little crack right there, because you will empty that later on. Then you're going to get a good amount of paper towels. I go 2 at a time, fold them nice and good.
You want a little thick stack.
A thick stack. Then you're going to want to wipe all of the excess oils off the windows and the metal.
It's all about the motion. It's all about the motion when you're wiping.
The reason we wipe all the excess oils off is because Because if you don't and then you spray it, it's going to leave those gross streaks that nobody likes to see. Word. If you wipe the excess oils off and then spray, it'll look about as clean as you're ever going to get. Word. So, what I did, I wiped down all the metal pieces, I wiped down the windows, I wiped down the top part, I wiped down everything here that's got oil. The goal of that is to, so when we use our next two friends, the green spray or the all-purpose cleaner and the glass cleaner, we don't have all these streaks and residue going on behind us. Important thing, if you want to pan in here real quick, make sure you get these wiped down.
Yeah.
There's the lid, all this stuff, and as you can see, if you realize that you forgot to wipe something up, it is normal and good to just fix it.
Yeah.
Good wipe, and I never will care how many paper towels you use to do this task, because they're cheap and we'll just buy more.
Exactly.
All of our movie theater money that we always do.
Yep.
Okay? So after you've made sure everything's wiped down, turn on the double check. I don't care what towels you use. The next step, I'm going to use glass cleaner on the windows. Spray, wipe those, and what you're going to want to do, I'll show you first. When you spray the windows, glass cleaner,
Glass cleaner.
you're going to want to make sure it gets nice and dry. So, see how I sprayed it?
Dry like my DMs.
Good, strong press, because if you get it dry when you wipe, what you're going to do is avoid those streaks. As you
Streaks
notice,
like on
like
Snapchat.
that's not fully dry, there's going to be streaks on those. So if
Snapchat
you
streak of the honey.
get it nice and white all the way through, you'll notice there are no streaks and it is shiny clean. Then, I'm going to pause the windows for a second. Show you guys the bottom part. For this next part, you just spray the cleaner down, good and white, just like that. And since we so diligently took care of all those oils, when this comes up, you'll barely see any oil except from the corners. Very nice, very smooth, very good. So after you have sprayed window cleaner and glass cleaner, all the good stuff, in the machine, wiped it down nice and dry, get everything sorted out. Your next step is the grate. So what I do with the grate is I take a paper towel and I give it a good strong wipe down. After I've given it a good strong wipe down, get all that excess oil off, then I spray it down with green all-purpose cleaner right over here, and I wipe it down again. If that sounds familiar, it's the exact same thing we did with the rest of the machine. So after you've got that step done, we'll move on. Next step is your agitator, and it's cooled down now. See how I'm grabbing it with my full hand? So I take that, get that running on some nice good water. Paper towel set out. Set this to the side because when you get this all scrubbed off, you're gonna want someplace to put it off. So you just take it over the water, using your hands or a sponge or brush if you want to. It's entirely your call. I use my hands because it's not a big deal. Give a good wipe down. Get all the crusties and a lot of the oil off. Rinsing your hand off periodically. Tap it. Let it off dry. Do the same thing with your clip. Don't lose the clip either. That would be a deep inconvenience for us. Next step is the scoops. Some people soak these in water, soak in water overnight. That's totally fine. What I do, and it is just as effective, I wipe it down well with paper towels on the sides. Get all the excess oil, all the excess crumbs off of it. I set it to the side. I grab my all-purpose cleaner, and I go spray, spray, spray. Grab some more paper towels. And I wipe it all the way fully down. Now, if that step sounds familiar, it definitely should. We've done it twice already. The green spray and paper towels are pretty much all you'll really need to clean this machine. You can get more spick and span if you'd like, but as you can see, nice, clean, tidy, excellent machine. Your next step is going to be to grab your agitator, make sure it's nice and dry. And by now it should, because we didn't get it like super duper wet. We're going to walk over to the bowl of the machine, flip it on its side, agitator goes in. This is the tricky part. So what you're going to want to do is, you see how this got a little hook? You want to hook it like it's hooking into a basket, more or less, right? Slide it. So once you've got your hooked built-in basket. This thing is firmly in there. You just close that back up. Then walk on over, grab all your bags of popcorn, set them all right here. After you've got all popcorn set in there, you reattach your popcorn salt tub. And that's it. Machine's clean.